You guys, have you heard? Signups for the Sweater Weather Sampler 2025 are open today. Um, I'm really excited about this year's Sweater Weather Sampler. This is the third year that this has been a thing. My friends of the Nine Patch Quilt Collective and I are so excited to bring it to you this year. You can sign up. I'm going to share the link in the show notes. But this episode is going to be all about sharing some of the frequently asked questions we've had about the Sweater Weather Sampler and just share some of our inspiration and our deep passion and love for bringing you guys the Sweater Weather Sampler every year. I hope you really enjoy getting some behind the scenes info on this. I hope you guys will sign up and sew along with us. Every year, the best part of this sampler is the community that comes together and makes a bunch of beautiful quilts, but also a bunch of amazing friendships and shares tips, tricks. It's just a really special time of year. That has honestly become one of my favorite things. Without further ado, welcome to Sweater Weather, y'all.
Hey y'all, I'm Emily, an almost lifelong quilter with a lot of stories to tell. I have loved quilts and talking about them for as long as I can remember, and I'm here to celebrate the tradition of quilting with you. From family heirlooms to thrift store finds, every quilt holds a piece of history and a little piece of a quilter's heart. Join me every other week to get back to your quilting roots. We'll celebrate quilts and the real people who made them, learn a little bit about the history of quilting, and have lots of fun exploring ways to reclaim tradition in a modern world. I'm so glad you're joining me this week here at Patchwork Revival.
Okay, let's jump into sweater weather. To get us started, can we all share our favorite thing about autumn or the fall? I'll share mine. Living in Texas, it's no longer 110 degrees where I live. It might be 85, but it is not 100. So
See,
there
and
is
I was
that.
gonna say the cooler weather, but cooler weather in Wisconsin is like 50.
Yeah, I would have a parka on for sure.
Oh boy.
But first of all, it is sweater weather.
Yeah, sweater weather. Right? I feel like I can't. Should I link
The video,
I think I'm gonna link
the responses to the video, just every time.
You're without saying it. Like, as soon as you said it, I was muted, but I said it right after you did. It's like, it's I don't know, automatic response that I have to say it when I hear somebody else say it. Sweater weather. I
We
think
should
my
make it
favorite part of fall is
real.
like getting a chance to slow down because summer can get busy and hectic and it's like long days and there's just a lot going on and the cooler weather for sure, but it's just slowing down is like I think is what I always associate with fall and like coming back inside and doing some of the like baking and I mean as quilters I feel like we're always sewing, but that's like a chance to just like sit on the couch and do some hand sewing and just like be cozy and slow. That's my favorite.
For me, the fall is almost like my New Year's because like the beginning of the school year is like my year, I guess. So it's just always like a new year, a new season, new group of kids, and it just, I don't know, it's just nice.
My husband and I both grew up in places that had seasons. So as kids, we were forced to rake the leaves, but then played in the leaves and, all the things, right? The acorns and the apple orchards and the apple cider and all of that. And then we both ended up in Texas and there's none of that. There's really none of that. That I will say, after our first sweater weather, so that would have been 2023 sweater weather, we did have fall colors that year in Dallas, and they were good fall colors that year. So that was really exciting. We loved going for walks so that we literally were acting like children every time we'd go on a walk. It was like, look at this leaf, look at this leaf. Hey, Mom, look at this leaf, So we get ridiculously excited when we get to see fall colors. And it was really cool. So my block, we're not even talking about that yet, but I'm just going to jump into it already. So my block for this year is actually kind of commemorates a really special time for me and for my husband. And it was in the New Mexico mountains. And we did not really plan to be there when their leaves were changing, because that's the weird thing about Texas. I don't know if you're like this too, where it's like, oh, wow, the leaves are already changing in that place. Oh, wow, they're changing there too. Wow, they're changing there too. And like our air conditionings are still like, yeah,
Yeah.
it's so weird to see it happening in other places, because it's not going to happen for us for a really long time still. Like shorts at Thanksgiving is a pretty typical thing around here. So anyway, on that particular trip, we drove through the coolest tunnel of bright yellow aspen trees, and we both about died right there in the car. It took our breath away. We found a place to pull over. We were playing in the leaves. We took 152 pictures. Like it was just incredible. So for us, like the second the calendar says it is fall, John's like, everything is off the walls. Anything we can find that's fall colors is going up. So he is the decor junkie when it comes to fall stuff around here.
I would say my favorite thing, I also really love the fall leaves. And we have in our neighborhood, there's like this really big hill that goes down and then comes back up. And there's tons, like it's a forested area. So there's like tons and tons of trees on both sides. And so what I love is like every time that the seasons change, the trees are like a different kind of pretty. So like in the fall, like you're going through this really pretty, like all the colors. And then like when we get our first big snowfall, it's like a winter wonderland that you're driving through, and like all the tree branches have all the snow on them. And then in the spring, like just the last couple weeks, like a bunch of them are all blossoming now, and so it's really, really pretty. So I love that. And then I also just love all the traditions around fall. So like I love going to the pumpkin patch with my kids and carving pumpkins and picking apples and just like watching football on Sundays. And I don't know, just all the fall things that like feel cozy and feel like, I don't know, like the coziness of tradition, but also like the coziness of like being inside. And I feel like a lot less guilty sewing when it's fall than I do when it's summer. I don't know, when it's summer in Wisconsin, I feel like I have to be outside because like it's so fleeting here and like I don't want to miss it. So I think that like when it gets to be cold and stuff again, then I'm like, oh, I have permission to be inside again. And that's kind of nice.
I'll go. I really love a couple of things about fall. One, the harvest. I am like, I don't know if it's just genetically compelled or what it is to use every last bit of fruit that might grow on any kind of bush or tree. So I love preserving, and the fall is always like a season of doing that. And I really love that. And my birthday is in October. And so I've always really loved having my birthday in the fall and close to Halloween. Halloween is by far my favorite season, favorite holiday, and spooky season. Like you should see my Halloween decoration. There's way more than any other season. Like I've got a ridiculous amount. It's my favorite time of year for sure. Any Halloween quilt, any Halloween, anything, I will gladly do. Em has the cutest Severus quilt that I had the most fun posing my little skeleton with last year. So, like any excuse to pose
Oh
a skeleton,
yeah, those pictures.
like anything. I will put skeletons all over the place. Like I threatened to have skeletons with Santa hat at Halloween or at Christmas, which is like Santa Halloween for me. So Halloween is probably my reason for the season for fall.
I love that. So I did the Severus quilt too, and I remember taking photos of the blocks and having like the skulls and the, like spooky stuff. And then I can't remember, did you do that one too? Someone did it. It was like very like cutesy, like curated. And I was like, did I go too hard? Like, did I go too hard on the spooky? And then Dana came in with like the full skeleton. I was like, no, we're good. We're good.
No, you guys are
Thank you
good.
so
I
much.
just do. That's just my style.
No, I
I
know.
like
I know. It
Abby
was perfect. It was
Halloween.
like perfectly.
Yeah,
cute.
Abby
And I was,
Halloween
second
is
guessing
like
mine. I was
very
like, I
much a
think I went too-
Halloween light.
Yeah,
It's very cute Halloween.
it
and
was
sweet.
perfect. Yeah.
Cute.
No,
But I was like,
you
I think I went too
You
hard.
add a picture of Dana's skeleton holding up that
Yeah.
freaking quilt because there was no person in the photo. There was no person holding anything. It was all the skeleton.
It was all the
It seriously
skeleton.
took a lot of engineering to get that skeleton to hold that quilt.
It's so good.
Was worth it. It was worth it. Oh man. Um, does anyone remember how did who had the idea for the sweater weather sampler? Like, because I got invited to be on board a little bit after the whole inception of things. So does anybody recall the kind of origin story? Like, who had this grand idea?
I think it was kind of it was a group effort, really,
Yeah.
because we kind of decided it would be really cool if we did a group project. And at the time, I don't think any of us were thinking this would be something that we would continue. It was just kind of like this would be fun to do it together sort of thing. But I think even before we nailed the fall situation, I think you might have been part of the fall situation, Em, because distinctly remember us saying it would be great if there were 9 of us instead of 7 of us.
Yeah, and Abby brought in Emily and Heather, I think, because she was acquainted with them. So she completed our little family by bringing them in. I think we just started when it was just the 7 of us. It was more like we were just so much enjoying our time together, and like, what if we collaborated and did like a sampler, and wouldn't that be fun? And then when we were thinking about the format of the quilt and having like, you can't make a quilt with 7 blocks, that would be weird. So we were thinking like 9. And Abby said, "Oh, I know these really great quilters, and I think they would be a great addition to our crew. What do you guys think?" And she invited Emily and Heather to join us. And I think it was after that we decided to do a fall theme sampler, because there really wasn't one at that time. There was a spring one, there was the solstice sampler in the winter that was, already kind of going. And I think we were just looking for something that fit with our schedules, and it turned out to be perfect.
Yeah, amazing. Because look, it's fine to brag a little bit, but our first year, like, I don't know what I was expecting. I really don't. But it like blew us all like out of the water. We were like shocked because I can't even remember our first year. So 2023, we had how many people?
3,300?
Does anyone remember?
I feel like it was 3,300.
How
I
many?
think.
Yeah, it was
Does that
like
sound right?
3,500. So, yes, it was like something like that.
Yeah,
Mhm.
something like that. So then we were like, oh my gosh. Like, I thought we would have like 150 people. I don't know. I hate to sell us short that way, but I was like, I don't know what to expect. Like, and then every day, I remember Megan was like keeping track of the subscribers, like the signups, and she was like, "We're at 1,000," and I was like,
Do you remember me updating you guys like it was like every hour? I was like, okay, we have like 50. Okay, we have like 100,
Yes.
and we're gonna hit 1,000.
Yeah. Then it was like, I would never would have imagined that. I really wouldn't have. And then
It makes my stomach all jittery just remembering all of that because all
I honestly am like sweating a little bit because it was very anxiety provoking. Like, oh my gosh, like now we're moderating a Facebook group of like thousands of people, and we're sending patterns to all these people. It was crazy. It was so fun. It was amazing. But I was like, oh my gosh, this is wild. And then last year, how many did over doubled?
I should have the number somewhere, but I don't
7?
remember just above my head. I feel like it was like
Was it like
7,000.
7?
It like doubled. Yeah.
Yeah, it doubled.
I think we were close to 8.
I think it was.
I think we
Yeah.
were at the end, close to 8,000 people that was the other thing. Germany, England, Australia, all over the
A big
US.
pocket
like,
in France,
Yeah. Canada.
yes.
Canada.
Yeah. Basically
And
worldwide.
just more
phenomenon
Australia.
at
It's
this
we
point.
We had some in Mexico too, because I remember there was
That's
one
right.
lady, she visited somebody in
Yes,
Texas.
in the Facebook
Well,
group.
oh yeah, I forgot about that one too. Yeah. But there was a lady who wanted
Was that no,
she
that
wanted to
was
buy like 3 kits, but I was like, I don't ship internationally. And she was like, well, I'm gonna go visit someone in Texas. Can you send it to her? And I was like, sure. It's just crazy. People, they were so
yeah.
excited to be a part of it in any way they could figure out how to be. I mean, oh my gosh, the German Quilt Guild, that they were like, would it be okay if we tried to help
Mhm.
people translate? And we were like, okay.
I sure can't. So please, by all means.
Did the German group
Uh,
also have like a meetup with where they hung up all their quilts?
Yeah,
I
I
just
think they
remember
had their
that.
own
That's
show, didn't they?
wild.
yeah,
Yeah.
they did a whole show of all of their own versions of the 2023 version of the Sweater Weather Sampler, and it it's on gosh, it was on several of their. They sent us the video, like a link to the video, and it was like 20 completed quilts. I mean, they were so beautiful and they were all hung up. I think it almost looked like it was in a church
Yeah.
or something that they
Mhm.
had available. They had this huge space where they could hang everything. And that
So
was
cool.
so cool. It was
Yeah,
really cool.
for sure.
I think we all just kind of have just kept going because it's been really fun
Mhm.
for us. I do think that from the beginning, it was always the idea of introducing people to quilting. A true sampler to me is a way to build
Mhm.
skill, and not just for participants, for us too, like trying new techniques in our patterns, learning from each other how to write patterns differently, how to present them to people, how to, moderate face fit groups, which I'm not great at, but I'm trying to learn. Uh, and I don't know, it's been so cool, but um, I was kind of like, I wonder who actually really thought about this, because I just feel lucky that I got kind of invited to jump on the train with y'all. So, and we're doing Sweater Weather 2025. It's a little bit early, but just for context, like I'm going to release this episode the night before registration opens. So, um, we're opening registration tomorrow, which is August 14th, I think. Yeah, I think I have that right. Hey, so you can sign up tomorrow. Um, and I thought I would just maybe we could do a little um I have some FAQ questions that maybe we could just run through really quick. And then we'll just wrap up with a little quick question. So, um, I'm just gonna call us out one at a time. And if you don't know, just say pass. And then somebody else, for the love of God, just jump in and answer my question. Okay. So, Tamara, I'm gonna ask you this first question. Do I have to know everything about quilting to sign up for this? Do I have
Nope.
that for a softball?
Say, oh, nope.
Would you
How
like me to expand on that? The whole idea is to build skills, like you were talking about, Em. So, lean into that and just try it out. If it doesn't work, try again. Ask one of us. We're all here to create an experience that feels really safe to learn new things. So the answer is nope, you don't have to know everything.
yes, everyone's welcome. I'm so glad I asked you that question. Um, so Abby, what do I get when I sign up for the Sweater Weather Sampler?
Okay. You get 9 patterns, not all at once. You're going to get them week by week, but you will get a total of 9 complete block patterns. You will also get access to an exclusive Facebook group where you will have built-in community and lots of support and excitement. A place where you can share your progress, where you can ask questions, where you can have easy access to the designer of the week.
And we will have some really fun prizes as you go. So you'll have access to that too, that you can be entered to win weekly and also a grand prize at the end. And I don't know, I feel like I'm probably forgetting things, but those are the big ones.
You also get to make a cool.
Yes, you'll have this incredible
That's
quilt
right.
that you'll be so proud of, and it's going to be gorgeous. And you're going to have tried a bunch of different techniques and hopefully grown in your skills and also in your quilty friendships. And it's going to be amazing.
I'm super excited. I feel like if we are this excited, I hope everybody else is excited. So, Heather, can you tell us a little bit about how and when we are going to be sending out block patterns? How will people get their block patterns this year?
This year, we will be sending them out on Thursdays with your email. So you can just check your email Thursday morning, and that is how you'll get your patterns.
Yeah, it's super easy. You just sign up. The pattern comes to you, one pattern a week for 9 weeks. We already covered this question. I'll handle this question. When can I sign up? Tomorrow. And we'll put a link in the show notes so that it's super easy for you to sign up. Oh, here we go. Actually, this is a hard question. We might have to crowdsource this with each other. Dana,
Gave me the hard.
when are we going to release the designs and the fabric requirements, sort of the precursory information for this year's
I might have to
blocks?
refer to Megan's notes because we did go back and forth about this a little bit. But I feel like are we releasing the designs August 14th? So
Or-
I think we're releasing the design
Yeah,
August 14th.
on August
I think
14th.
that's what it was. So when the day that
Yeah,
you can sign
so
up, we'll see all of this year's designs, and we've all had sneak previews, and they're amazing. So you're gonna love them. And then what was the other question? Oh, the fabric requirements. Yeah, we released that all kind of at the same time, right? The design, the fabric requirements,
Yeah.
the links to the shops that will have the kit, like Crafty
Yeah.
Moose will have many, many kits, and they are gorgeous, you guys. Annie is your
Yeah.
premier source of sweater weather kit.
Yeah, so that was the next question. Will there be quilt kits? And
Oh, yeah.
will there be
Oh,
quilt
yeah, babe.
kits? In fact, yes.
There will be quilt kits, and I'm not the only one. Rachel's gonna have some. Tamara will probably have some with beautiful wovens. Megan may have some with her quilt scout colors, and we typically have a spattering of other shops that love to participate as well. We try really hard to work with shops that are in other countries as well. We want everybody to have access to what we have found. Let me just interrupt myself. What we have found is the cover quilt tends to be the most popular kit of the year. So we try to find other shops in other countries that can provide the cover quilt kit as well. But yeah, there's going to be a lot. And I just have to kind of piggyback on what Dana said. So just today, it's May. I don't even know. My watch isn't on. It's May something today. And just today, I played with a bunch of mock-ups. And last night, Rachel and I were messaging each other, playing with mock-ups. And these patterns, I'm getting giddy excited. These patterns are so good in like every palette that I have tried. There has not been a palette yet that I've tried and went, oh, that really doesn't work in that block. It's just good. I can't even, it's good.
Yeah, it'll be impossible to make a hideous sweater weather quilt, honestly. I challenge someone out there to try to make
I was just
an
going to say
ugly
the same
one.
thing. Challenge accepted, Emily.
You guys, what is the first day that patterns go out?
September 4th. It's going to be mine.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
that's right.
I'm nervous.
Well, I have a question for myself.
For
Is
September.
sweater weather on Quilt Ink?
Rachel, you like quilting a lot. You use it a lot. And you're familiar with it. Can you explain a little bit about quilting and how we use it as it relates to the sampler?
Yes, I can. Quilting is an online coloring page. So lots of people like to have a physical printout sheet where you can like color in your color palettes with colored pencils or whatever medium you use. But maybe you're like, I have no idea what color palette I want to use. So I want to try 100, and that would take a million years to fill in a bunch of different options. So Quilting, you can go onto quilting.com, and our sweater weather sampler will be on there, and you just click, like you're like, I want to try red in this spot, and then all the pieces in the quilt that are supposed to be red turn red. So it's really quick, and they have all of the solids from the major manufacturers. So like if you would like to use AGF pure solids from Art Gallery Fabrics, you can go on there and they have all of the colors available. So you can see what the quilt's going to look like in a bunch of different mock-ups. And you can do that for free. So that's a really great option if you're someone who has a hard time visualizing colors once they're not just like little swatches or not in front of you. So
Yeah.
did I miss anything, Anne? Anne is
I
also
was
very
just going to
familiar with
say
quilting.
two things. One, it's quilt INK, like an ink pen, INK, not INC, like incorporated. I actually had that question multiple
Correct, yeah.
times because I just say it so fast, quilting, because I'm just so, I use it all the time and I'm used to it. And somebody was like, I couldn't find it. And I was like, it's just quilt INK. And they're like, oh, I was looking up INC. And I was like, oh, I should have been more specific. So that's the first thing. The second thing is if you are brand new to Quilt Ink, I highly recommend before you try to color any quilt, set up a free account. And the reason for that is you cannot actually save any of your mock-ups until you have the free account. So you may go through all these different colors and you finally find the set that you fall in love with, and then you find that you can't save it because you didn't set up an account. So set up an account first, then start coloring.
Do you guys know
Good
Do you
tip.
guys know if there are prints in there, or do they only have solids?
Yes. So users can, if you have a free account, I think you can upload, ooh, I'm going to get this number wrong. It's either 7 or 10 prints. You can upload your own. So you can go to any
Oh, okay.
manufacturer website and you can download those images to your computer, and then you can upload it to your account so that you can play with those colors. There's like 3 different tabs. The first one is all the solids, so all the major manufacturers, like Rachel was saying. And then the middle tab is your specific palette. And then I think the far right one is all of the shops that are utilizing quilting. So like my shop has every print fabric that I have in my shop, I have uploaded to quilting. So if anybody wants to be like, oh, since I'm already ordering something from Crafty Moose Quilts, I'm going to see what other prints she has that I like or whatever. And like Megan's entire Quilt Scouts palette with her prints and solids are all loaded into her shop.
Got it. Thank you.
Well, awesome. Yeah, I'm glad for that tutorial because I'm more of a fly by the seat of my pants and just hope it looks good. Like if I like the colors, it's going to be fine. So maybe I should challenge myself to use a mock-up tool, except I've already bought my fabric, so hopefully it looks good. But I wanted to just say, when you sign up, you'll get a welcome sort of email that will have a link to quilting if you're interested. So you'll just be able to click on it. It'll have all the fabric requirement charts and things like that. So never fear. We try to put all this stuff out into the world in multiple places so that you can find it. You don't have to be taking notes. But Christina, I have a question for you. What if I wanted to make blocks from the previous year's samplers? Can I do that, or is it just gone forever?
I believe all of us have our previous blocks listed in our stores. So you'd be able to find any of our stores on Etsy or our websites through our probably links in our Instagram profiles. And then I guess I'm not sure if we're planning on linking them anywhere else, or if maybe they already are. I'm not sure. Pass.
There is a
Yeah.
link on our
Okay.
landing page. If you go to the landing page for the Sweater Weather Sampler, you'll see a link for all of the shops there where you can find the patterns from previous years.
Yep, we made it easy. Each of the patterns we wrote as basically like individual, think of them as like mini quilt patterns. So they can be standalone. But the real secret sauce every year is when you sign up and they all come together kind of as one big unit. So it's not like the ship has sailed forever, but if you want to sort of take a trip down memory lane for the last couple years of Sweater Weather, you can still check it out. So, I think, is there any other information that y'all can think of that people would be like asking, like screaming, what about this or that? I can't think of anything, but I could have missed something. Okay, we're going to turn into pumpkin soon, but I think a fun wrap up will be if we can just go around and let's say, excuse me, my voice is getting croaky. Maybe we could all say, do you have a favorite Sweater Weather block ever? It can be anyone's, it can be your own. I mean, I don't know. Or maybe your favorite like tidbit or tip that you've picked up over the years during the sampler.
It's really hard to pick a favorite block.
I was gonna say that's a fair question.
It's, I mean,
I know it's not because I like them all and I really love them all, like in their context of like every year, like these blocks looked so good
Yes.
together. And
yeah.
I'll give
interesting.
my
Go ahead, Meg.
husband's opinion because he's like he's like the unbiased. Every year he's had a favorite block. The first one,
oh, this is actually the best
Right.
way to do it because I think we've all had like every year I have the block that like my husband or my kid is like, wow, that one's so
Mhm.
cool, or that one's so sick. I'm like, we don't say that, but okay.
my husband, he loved Dana's block the first year, the Aspen Grove. And then last year, I think his favorite was Anne's, I think. Yeah, I think that was the Sun Still.
Sunstill.
Yes, I was trying to think of the name of it. I was like, I could picture it. Yeah, those were his two favorites from year 1 and year 2. So we'll see. TBD on this year.
Yes, I think.
Thanks,
Well,
Jason.
yeah, Jordan's favorite from 2023 was Aspen Grove. It was a fan.
It really
favorite,
appealed to the
Dana.
men.
It was Tyler's favorite as well, and he still
Same.
requests that I make it
Yeah.
a pillow for our couch.
I was going to say Aspen Grove too for my favorite. Caleb has no quilt opinions, so I like that it taught me a new skill because I'd never done the improv before, so
Mhm.
that was fun. And then it just looks so cool.
I think that was the first time I've done
Good job,
improv
Dana.
too, actually.
Right.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, me too.
Well, hold on to your
Oh,
hat.
it definitely was. Yeah, it definitely was me, and it gave me this like insane sense of accomplishment, like that it turned out looking good. Like I did it.
I don't know what Dave's
Um,
favorite
I
was the
do-
first year. I'm trying to think through what they all
I know, I need a
were.
picture.
I
know, I was
can't
just thinking that
remember
too.
what his favorite was. But my mom's
Anybody
favorite
have
the
theirs
first
handy?
year was
Oh
definitely
yeah,
Home
here we
Heart.
go. Here we go.
She loved Emily.
Hey.
Oh, he loved Bonfire Embers.
Me
it was
too. I forgot about
definitely
Bonfire
Heather.
Oh
Embers.
yeah.
Yeah,
Hold that baby up. Oh
Bonfire
yeah.
Embers.
Okay.
That was so
Falling
good.
Leaves.
Yeah.
Woolen. We have Home Heart.
Yeah.
Rach, I can't
Oh,
remember what
that's
yours was
right.
called. Perfectly Plaid? Something plaid.
Harvest
Aspen
Moon.
Oh yeah,
That was
Harvest
a good
Moon.
one, you
Yeah.
guys. That was a
Mhm.
good one.
I know that one was so
Yeah.
good.
Oh, Wing
And
Ruff.
I really loved.
Yeah.
Mhm.
That was a good
Yeah,
one.
they're all great.
It was a good one, you guys. It was a good
I
one.
know. I think some of my favorites have been the ones that have felt like they were going to challenge me, and I
I was able to do it. So Aspen Grove was one because I am not the improv type, but I got it. I did it. And then both of Tamara's, the Apple Harvest and Harvest Moon, I was like, there's no way I'm going to get these circles looking good. But like I did. And so I was really proud of those. And they were so well done. Like y'all's patterns were so good. I was like,
I loved that
yeah,
apple. It
I'm
was just
leveling up
the
here.
apple. That was such a good one. So cute.
And applique, I
Mhm.
did needle turn applique, and it was, I loved it. I loved
I
it.
don't know that I can pick a favorite, especially from last year, because I still keep it on I have on my chair. Like it's mom's chair. It's my spot. That was my recovery spot. I lived in that chair after surgery last summer. But anyway, I still keep my 2024 quilt on that chair and I use it every day. And there's no way I can pick a favorite block, but I will say every time I would see somebody on Instagram or whatever holding up or showing their finished quilt top, the first block I always looked at was Christina's every single time. That sunflower, there was something about the about the way, like just the simplicity of the two colors in her classic checker pattern. It just drew my eye in every single time. I couldn't wait to see people's palettes in Christina's block.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was your Lannon block from 2024, so from last year. I think that was like a fan favorite, honestly. I think people really, really loved it.
I really loved Rachel's tree last year.
Yes.
That one I think was my fave. Those falling leaves were
Oh,
just so
yeah.
charming and it was so good and it was so well written and I really loved that one.
I really loved.
Oh,
I was
go
just
ahead,
gonna say
Abby.
the fall. Was it First Frost? Was that Heather's? I'm trying to remember the name of her block from last year.
Oh, yeah.
It was
so
so
good.
cool though because it had like the leaves and then the snowflake,
I think
and it
it's-
was all combined into this really cool shape, and it was just so clever and so pretty. So I really love that one.
Heather, your block is my son's favorite. He loves that one.
I loved that block. See, I'm so every time you guys mention a new block, I'm like, yeah, that one was my favorite. No, that one was my favorite.
I think so.
Like I can't pick one.
I know, but you know what's wild too is I can go back to, I vividly remember when I was making all of these blocks and being like, this one is so good. Like there's never been one that I was like, ugh, oh no. Like I was always like loved it. One of the perks of living with one of us is you might get to see like a sneak peek of this year's designs. So I was fiddling around and my 5-year-old was like, Mommy, that is a cool quilt. And he was pointing to Anne's block. So we'll see. Anne's this year might
Was that
be
before he deleted it from Bubble?
the family favorite. Oh man. Okay, well, that's all I can think of. Thank y'all so much for doing this. Would it be really cheesy if we ended it being like 1, 2, 3, sweater weather?
No, that would be amazing.
Yeah, definitely do that.
Okay,
Everyone unmute.
so everyone, unmute your mics.
Okay.
Okay, let's do sweater weather on 3. 1, 2,
Sweater
weather.
Well, that's it for this episode of Patchwork Revival. I loved having you here with me talking all things quilty. Don't forget to subscribe to the show and leave a rave review. Also, be sure to jump down to the show notes to find links for this episode, as well as the link to my shop where you can enjoy 15% off as a podcast listener with code REVIVAL. Remember that the Patchwork Revival podcast is here to celebrate the connection made in the quilts we love. I'll see you next time.